What is up? Hi, I'm Natalie, and this video is gonna be about dyeing hair black with box dye, okay? This is the hair that I'm gonna be coloring. It's 100% human hair. People ask me all the time, why do hairstylists hate when people dye their hair with black box dye? So I'm gonna show you guys what happens when you try to lift the black box out of the hair, okay? I'm gonna be using a lot of photos to kind of show you an illustration of like what this hair actually looks like super up close, like under a microscope, the cuticle, to kind of help further explain why it is just so bad to do this to your hair, okay? So here's the beginning. Stay tuned, I'll be back. Hey, okay, so here we are. Black. I missed a spot, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It don't matter. So if you can see just the shine and the health of the cuticle overall. This is phase 2 of the experiment. The hair has been colored black, and now we're gonna bleach it. And I'm gonna show you guys why this is every hairstylist's nightmare, okay? If someone sits in her chair and they're like, oh, I just box dyed it black like once 3 years ago. If your hair grows like this much every 5 weeks, right? Just do, okay? Imagine your hair's to here. This very bottom piece probably came out of there 3 years ago or 4 years ago. So that box color is still in the cuticle. And the reason that box dye to me is so much worse than having it done in a salon is because every box comes with about 20 volume. You don't get to choose your volume, and the volume is going to determine how that cuticle opens up, okay? So certain volumes make the cuticle open or close more or less. And whenever you are putting such a strong volume on the cuticle, it's fully opening up. So that black dye and that pigment and that melanin and that color is going to the innermost part of the hair. So it's going to the medulla, all right? And the medulla, that is where all your underlying pigment is living, okay? And black, its underlying pigment is not only dark red, but it actually has a little bit of green and a little bit of blue that it has to lift through before it turns red. And then once it turns red in the lifting process, then it's gonna go to red orange, and then it's gonna go to like orange yellow, and then yellow, and so on and so forth until you get to platinum. And this is to show you, once you have done this to your hair, you will never be platinum with healthy hair, ever. It's just not gonna happen. So I will see you guys in a minute. I'm gonna go and start bleaching this. I'm probably gonna use 20 volume just because I feel like that's realistic. Like I would probably use, I'd probably use 10 volume, but on like a client. But for video's sake, we're gonna use 20 volume, and I'm gonna process under heat. And I'll see you guys back in 30 minutes. Hey, we are back. So this is where we are. You can tell it's a little splotchy. We're focusing on the overall tone of the hair, okay? So this is the underlying pigment. It's got a real brassy color to it. Realistically, this is what your hair could lift to in one session with box black on your hair. And the ends are like splitting so bad. So now we are going to bleach it again. Why not? Let's bleach it again. Okay, so I just washed it. I bleached it again, but I just need y'all to see this. Every time I run my hand through it, look how much hair is falling out. And this is why box dye is a hairstylist nightmare. Every time I comb through, just like chunks of hair are coming out. Literally like chunks of hair. Look at that. Look at that. Don't be this girl. Don't make anybody do this to you, okay? I'll be right back. All right. It is nighttime. It's dark outside. I finished, so I've got 2 halves to this guy. This is the final product after 2 bleaches. I glossed it with a level 9 ash. Ash absorbs light, so it can appear a lot darker than it actually is. So this is gonna be 7 ash on top of the first bleach. That was kind of how that one turned out. It's really pretty. And then 7 neutral is right here. It kind of turned green to me. And then we have a pretty 8 ash. I think that was my favorite one. So that's 8 and 9 next to each other. And then we have an 8N on the ends, which you can barely see, but that one looked green too, so. So this is a level 8 ash, but this is a level 9 gloss. So I think the reason that they look almost identical, if you just look right there, the reason they look identical is because the hair has undergone so much trauma that the cuticle is so much more porous that it just absorbed that color and took it to a whole nother darkness level, which makes all the sense. Just for final reference, this was the beginning virgin blonde hair, and there's that. So if you'll be a golden blonde, I feel like you could get kind of close to this, but you will never truly ever be this beautimous platinum ever again. It's just a hair saga. You saw it here first. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys around town, I guess. I don't know.